press briefing. Welcome, Your Excellencies.
Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Mr. Prime Minister, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, I am deeply honored to receive and welcome you, the first ever visit by head of government and the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, together with your delegation on this official visit to Kenya, which is also the very first visit to the country by our Czech Prime Minister. We are therefore immensely privileged by this historic visit, and welcome. Prime Minister Fiala and I have just concluded productive discussions on a wide range of issues. Kenya and the Czech Republic have shared warm and friendly relations since 1993, when Kenya formally recognized the Czech Republic as one of the successors of the states of the former Czech and Slovak Republic and Federation. This visit is therefore timely, and I thank Prime Minister Fiala for his demonstrable goodwill and strong political commitment to enhance the relations between our two nations and between the people of the Czech Republic and the people of Kenya. The Czech Republic is a highly valued partner to Kenya. The scope of our bilateral cooperation ranges from trade and economic cooperation, wildlife conservation, health education, technology, defense and security, climate action, to regional and multilateral cooperation. Undoubtedly, Mr. Prime Minister, there is immense potential for us to broaden and deepen our partnership. In our bilateral meeting today, we held in-depth discussions on ways of enhancing trade and investment, and I thank Prime Minister Fiala for being accompanied with a huge delegation of business people who have had very fruitful interactions with our own private sector and business people under the Chamber of Commerce in our two countries. I take this opportunity to encourage the business delegations accompanying His Excellency, the Prime Minister, to explore the huge untapped investment opportunities in Kenya. And I have also informed them that those opportunities are not limited to the 52 million people in Kenya. They extend to the East African community with a population of 350 million people. Those opportunities extend to the tripartite free trade area between EAC, COMESA, and SADC, with a population of 750 million people, and they extend all the way to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which is a population of 1.4 billion people. To accelerate growth in trade and investment, we have agreed on the following steps for immediate action: that the Czech Republic consider establishing a commercial hub in Nairobi and use Kenya's geostrategic advantage as a gateway for the broader regional and continental engagement in terms of trade and investment, and that we implement urgent measures to establish a business council that will serve as a platform for bilateral private sector consultations and engagements to be brought together by the Chamber of Commerce in Kenya and the Chamber of Commerce in the Czech Republic. Following the Czech-Kenya Business Forum yesterday, attended by more than 120 companies from our two countries, and which Prime Minister Fiala graced with his presence, I am confident that Kenya and the Czech Republic will witness higher levels of commercial and trade activities that will spur increased investment from Czech companies into Kenya in diverse fields in our economy. Czechia companies' investment in Kenya will be a most strategic decision for both our two countries. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, a market, as I have said, of 1.3 billion people, is currently being organized, and Kenya's Vantage Point will afford Czech companies unimpeded access to this market. And in conjunction with Kenya's ratification of the EU Economic Partnership Agreement, Kenya offers a compelling array of benefits unmatched in our region. I did also take the opportunity to thank His Excellency Prime Minister for Czech's support as we negotiated the Economic Partnership Agreement that now has been concluded, and we will be signing it off on the 17th of December, that affords Kenya, being the first country in our region, to get quota-free, duty-free access to the European market, and that this will be a leverage that we can share with our Czech counterparts as they explore opportunities in the Kenyan space. Kenya and the Czech Republic are working in concert on biodiversity conservation, in particular on saving the northern white rhino from extinction in collaboration with the Old Vegeta Conservancy in Nanyuki. Up to 25 embryos have been produced for future implantation, and we have committed to strengthen this partnership, as I thank His Excellency for the role the Czech Republic is playing in the whole space around climate action. And I have asked the Prime Minister to work with us as a continent, even as we go into COP28, to support our propositions underpinned by the Nairobi Declaration that brought together the continent of Africa, and our suggestions and our ideas forming solutions for climate change going into the future. In the complex world we inhabit, Kenya and Czech must enhance collaboration in the face of serious security challenges. We are already partnering successfully on security and defense policy and programs which reflect high level of mutual trust between our two countries, and we are committed to expand our engagement in that space. I did explain to Prime Minister Fiala that Kenya is not only an anchor country in terms of democracy, but we are also an anchor country on matters peace and security. And we are pulling our weight to make sure that we provide whatever capabilities that we have to secure this region and to democratize our continent. As pertains to the environment and climate change, we have shared our concerns on the existential threat and underscored the need for concerted effort. And therefore, I have invited Prime Minister to work with us as we walk to COP28. Likewise, Prime Minister Fiala and I also resolved to continuously work together across a range of sectors, including health, agriculture, technology, and aviation, among others. And I have congratulated Prime Minister Fiala for Czech support in some of our hospitals, in Malindi, in Kilifi, in Mbagathi Hospital here in Nairobi, and Vihiga Hospital in Western Kenya for their support. I also have thanked him for the scholarships that are made available to Kenyan students to study in Czech universities. And I have committed that we will look at avenues to expand in the development of our human capital appreciating that Kenya has among the best human capital globally, and education helps us to sharpen that human capital. I've also congratulated him on the partnership on agriculture that is going on with the county of Nakuru to look at opportunities that would better unlock the potential we have in the agricultural space. And now that we have the economic partnership agreement in place, I have also asked him that the tea and the coffee that we export to the Czech Republic, we look at opportunities to expand our exports into their market, especially of our premium products that have international recognition and fame. I take this opportunity once again to thank His Excellency Prime Minister and his delegation for the fruitful engagement and outcomes that we have achieved today. I reaffirm Kenya's commitment to deepen and broaden our relations with the Czech Republic and look forward to many more fruitful engagements in future. Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Please, you have the floor. Asante sana.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your warm welcome, and thank you for the hospitality that you offered to me and my delegation, and for the friendly and very constructive discussion. Our relations are excellent. We hope official contacts will be more frequent. I hope to see you in Prague soon, Mr. President. I want to see also more Czech companies invest in your country. I want more goods traded between our countries and more tourists to visit. We talked about our extensive defense and security cooperation. We both wish to improve it even more. Czech Republic highly values the role of Kenya for the stability and security in the region. We talked about the international issues which Africa and Europe are facing. I also congratulated Mr. President for the success of the Africa Climate Summit. I look forward to its result at the COP28 in Dubai. We agreed that there are many green and innovative technologies which our companies can cooperate on. For example, they can support Kenya's ambition to use geothermal energy and the mission to stabilize Kenya's energy infrastructure. These things go hand in hand. IT technologies and space research is also a very promising area. Our high-tech companies already work with Kenyan partners on development of small satellites. I really appreciate our common project to save northern white rhinos. It shows way forward and it brings many experts together. I congratulate Mr. President that the Economic Partnership Agreement of Kenya and the EU was concluded in June this year. It will boost our business cooperation when it is signed. Kenya has always been our major economic partner in East Asia. Export to Kenya is about $20 million US. Import from Kenya in last year was $10 million US. Also, the future agreements between our countries are very important. For example, the agreement on air services and double taxation can help our economic cooperation. Dear Mr. President, I would like to thank you once more for your warm welcome and for chance to visit your beautiful country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you very much for all the good that you have said about our country. And as you have said correctly, we will look at opportunities for more visits at the public level, but also as tourists and as enterprises and business people.
Your Excellencies, we'll now take a few questions from members of the press. Remember to start with your name, the media house you represent, and to your question. Let's keep them short and sweet. To your questions, members of the press.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I'm Eliška Negeli from the Czech News Agency. You spoke about investment from the Czech Republic to Kenya. Could you perhaps elaborate about Kenyan exports to the Czech Republic? In which sectors do you envision growth? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are a highly progressive country in terms of our human capital. So there are actually three areas that will be our focus. Focus number one is export of the biggest asset we have, that is our human capital, in terms of digital jobs and in terms of export of labor. Number two is export of services. We have some of the best English-speaking people anywhere in the world, and they can work anywhere in the world from Kenya. And then, of course, we are an agricultural country, and we have some of the most premium exports to EU and to many other parts of the world. Coffee, tea, macadamia, avocado, and the whole of that space, products that we are already exporting to many parts of Europe. We think there is opportunity working together with British, European, Czech companies to explore these possibilities. And I'm very happy that the private sector accompanied the Prime Minister here so that they can be the connection between private sector in Kenya and private sector in the Czech Republic and facilitate this movement of goods and services. We have also explored with the Prime Minister possibilities of making it easy for citizens to travel. And I have undertaken to him to look at the possibility of visa waiver for Czech citizens to visit Kenya without any restrictions, so that we can enhance our trade, and we can also enhance our tourism sector. As you are all aware, Kenya was voted by the Lonely Planet, which is the biggest tourist magazine and enterprise globally, that Kenya is the best, Nairobi is actually the best destination to visit globally. So we want to make it easy for people to access Nairobi, as it has been rated very highly globally on countries and towns that globally people would want to visit. Of course, it is because of the profile we have given Nairobi and the profile we have given our country over the last couple of years to make Kenya an interesting destination to visit. So again, we are making this offer to the people in the Czech Republic, and the Prime Minister already confirms to me that he will come back, because he has seen that this place is quite interesting, especially to come and pay a visit to the wildebeest migration and witness that phenomenal event that takes place every year between Kenya and Tanzania. I don't know whether I understood your question. Did I answer it okay?
Yes.
How many marks did I get? Okay.
Okay, Jakub Nedl, Česká televize, good morning. My question is, you were both talking about the great opportunities that there are in the cooperation for the both of the countries. So, but the way to achieve them is never easy. And have you already identified any possible obstacles on this way, and how do you want to overcome them?
I don't see any specific problem. Maybe it could have been the lack of direct contacts, but we are changing that with my visit in Kenya. And we establish a new level of our contacts, both at political and also business level. And I hope that the new treaties on air services and the double taxation will be finished soon, and I hope it will help deepen our trade, investment, and contacts.
Just to confirm what Prime Minister said, in fact, if there was an impediment, it has been unlocked by the visit of the Prime Minister to Kenya. His coming here speaks volumes of the new perspectives that under the leadership of Prime Minister, Czech has decided on a clear policy on engagement with Africa, which we welcome. It's a very positive development, and we need to ride on it, build on it, and drive our interactions using that momentum. And the agreements that are now in the pipeline, on the Kenyan side, I think we have 4 pieces of agreements that will now go to cabinet, and then so that we can sign those agreements that are mutually beneficial, that will provide the framework for us to elevate this engagement to the next level. So I think the journey of 1,000 kilometers has started, and we are very well focused on walking this journey together.
And I took a part yesterday at the Kenyan-Czech Business Forum, and one of our Kenyan friends has a speech, and it was, they said, very interesting sentence. He said, there are no problems. There are no problems. There are opportunities. It's very important, and if our friends see the situation so, I can agree. There are no problems. We have only opportunities for our cooperation.
Okay.